Donald Trump held a rally in Southern California and managed to anger many of the faithful with a logistics disaster that left them stranded in desert darkness, and I have the full story for you next. Trump burning valuable campaign time in California is a mystery to many since the state is not considered to be in play. I assume it was a vanity event since he knew it would be well attended. This after the Harris campaign and media got under his skin with images of empty seats and videos of people leaving his events early. And it was well attended, so he got the ego boost and the fuel for his narcissistic soul that he needed. But many who attended were livid because they were left abandoned miles from their cars in the desert at night, and I have their raw videos and candid comments for you in just a minute. But before that, let me set the stage with some unique ambiance of a Trump rally, and then I'll share some of his oddness from the stage. First up, watch as the Proud Boys, known white nationalists and occasional violent provocateurs, show their glee for their man on the way to the rally.
Just so you guys know, we're on the bus! We're on the bus! Whose boss this is? Whose boss this is? Yeah! Trump rally right here, Coachella!
And now watch as attendees begin to succumb to the desert heat. And instead of the usual chant of send them back, you'll hear cries of medic, medic. An all-day event in 100-degree heat with no shelters in sight. What could go wrong? But I hope those folks are okay. But that's just the beginning of the operation's nightmare. I'll have the nighttime exit fiasco for you in a few seconds, but first, let's look at some Trump lowlights from the Coachella stage. Watch the oddness unfold as he claims Kamala Harris has not visited North Carolina while she's in North Carolina. He tells Californians he would cut off disaster aid to California if elected, and he goes on a typical racist stream of consciousness.
It's too bad that Kamala didn't do. I don't even know. She's essentially not even gone there. Essentially, we'll force it down his throat, and we'll say, Gavin, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any of that fire money that we send you all the time for all the forest fires that you have. It's not hard to do. We will defend our communities. We will defend our civilization. We will not be conquered. We will not be occupied. We will not be invaded. We will reclaim our sovereignty. We will reclaim our nation, and I will give back your freedom and give back your life.
So that was the daytime disaster before the nighttime disaster. The event was in a remote location, and Team Trump did not provide enough buses for people to get back to their cars. Many of them got there at 5 or 6 in the morning. They were exhausted and dehydrated from the conditions, and as you'll see, they were concerned and unhappy to be stranded in darkness. And on the other side of these raw video clips, I'll have my analysis, which may surprise you. On X, Dark Garland posted, "This is criminal," says attendee. Orange Man's Coachella rally attendees are still stranded at midnight and have been told no more buses are coming. Are Riverside County deputies going to transport them to safety, or will Trump save them?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You can't imagine how many people are still.
There's so many people still here.
I know. I'm trying to get people to come back.
No,
This isn't normal. Apparently the buses are no longer coming, or at least there used to be like 20 buses when we were being brought here, but now there's only like 3 buses operating, and it's an absolute...
He says it tastes like water.
It's just chaos.
Guys, we came to the Trump rally, and this is the aftermath. So I don't know how long do we have to wait here before we can get to the bus and go back to our car. We waited like 7 hours to just get in the rally, and now it's time to go back because our cars is back there at the parking, which is like 5-6 miles away.
Honestly, it is a guilty pleasure to watch Team Trump fumble on the campaign trail with a logistical fail like this. But make no mistake, there were a lot of people there. And I encourage you to ignore the other reports about attendance at his events for fear that it might give Democrat voters a false sense of security. Kamala Harris may have gotten under his skin by challenging the rally turnouts and retention, but the latest polling shows that Trump has polled even. We simply do not know how much of Trump's new level of racist rhetoric will inspire those in his corner and those who are undecided to turn out. And history tells us that those who support his dark thoughts are hard to measure with conventional polling. There is only one thing that will determine our next president, and it is captured by this MSNBC video that was published just minutes before I recorded this segment.
As we approach the finish line, one thing has been clear from the start of the 2024 presidential race. It was always going to be a close contest. And a little over 3 weeks out from Election Day, the race is where it has always been, tied. That means this election will be won on turnout, which explains why former President Donald Trump is continually using fear and racism to scare his base voters to the polls. And in battleground states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, not one vote can be taken for granted.